Hi, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is your tutor, Mr. Sensor. And if it is your first time on this channel, please click on the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell in order to get notified when next I post a new video. Leave a comment and share the video in order to alert others that are likely to prepare for the oncoming or incoming 2023 GCE exam. In today's tutorial, we are going to consider mathematics paper 1, and relatively, we are also going to target a 2022 GCE exam under a region called functions. Very important to understand is that when you are talking about functions, you can either be given one function expression or you can be given two functional expressions. And when you're given two functions or three functions, the first important thing to understand is that you must be ready in order to be able to answer if at all there will be a question that will pop up saying find the inverse, the composite function, as well as the substitution of numbers inside a function. So it says, given that f of x equals to x minus 4 and h of x equals to 2x plus 3, then find h to the power negative 1 and then x here. Which means if a certain letter representing a function is raised to the power of negative 1, that mathematically should be understood as we are trying to find an inverse. So we're going to find that the letter targeted from the two functions is h, which means we're targeting that is h of x, which is equal to 2x plus 3. Now, to find the inverse of the function, very important to consider is that you must be able to make x the subject of the formula. The x we are talking about is the one in the expression, which is here. If we are to make this x the subject of the formula, we should have something different here rather than the same thing appearing with x. Therefore, it is important that we get rid of this temporarily, that we introduce a different letter from x. So in this case, where there is h of x, we are going to replace with n letter. Preferably, we can say y. And then we're going to say this is 2x and then plus 3. When we reach at that stage, we can be able to collect terms on one side, so we could leave anything containing x alone on one side of the equation. So I'm going to say this is y. If we want to remain with x, the easiest number to get rid of is 3. So this is positive. It will become minus 3 equals to 2x. When we reach at this stage, our main area of interest is ensuring that x is left alone or made the subject of the formula. Therefore, since 2 and x are combined, we're going to divide this with a 2. But because there is an equal sign, what we do on the right should also be done on the left-hand side. So I'm also going to divide by 2. So 2 and 2 cancels. So x is now going to be y minus 3, everything over 2. But what we found is just something that will contain the exact expression for the inverse. Then we can give the right expression. So I'm going to say, therefore, the function letter was h. Now we found the inverse. And then this x is going to be put in brackets. And then we say equals to. And when we say equals to, this y was not part of the original function, which means it should be replaced with the original letter used in the original expression. It was only introduced to help us with x being made the subject of the formula. So where there is y, we're going to say x, that is maintaining everything else. And having done that, it means we found that is the inverse of the function, which is x minus 3, everything over 2. And that's how we should approach a question, suppose we are to face it in the oncoming exam, or trying at all to invest the same concepts in self-reliance and trying to see to it that at least you're self-dependent. Then moving on to the second one, it says that is h inverse of 5, which means we have what we are calling h inverse of x, which is x, that is minus 3, everything over 2. Now, this one is trying to say h inverse of 5. So when we talk about h inverse of 5, in this case, we're trying to talk about a number. And this number is trying to say here, there is x, which is here. Now, where there is x, we're supposed to replace with a number. So where there is x, we're going to say 5 minus 3, then everything over 2. So this is 5 minus 3, the difference is 2, everything over 2. So I'm going to say h inverse of 5. So h inverse of 5 equals to 2 into 2 is going to give us a 1. And having done that, it simply means we've been able to find that is h inverse of that is 5. So the first important thing was that the first one is an expression. The second one, in the same expression, we're going to substitute that is a 5 where there is x, in as much as h inverse of x was x minus 3 over 2, and we're told to say h inverse of 5, which means this x has been replaced with a 5. So in the same function, we're going to replace that is this x with a 5, and thereby 5 minus 3, 2, 2 into 2, 1. Having done that, it simply means we found h inverse of 5. Then the last one is trying to say hf of x. So, wow, that is hf of x. The first important thing to understand is that when functions are aligned in a certain order, like in this way, h and then f, they've got what they are representing as functions. So this h stands for this expression, so we're going to replace with that is a 2x plus 3. What about f? F represents x minus 4, so you put in brackets, you say x minus 4. And that is always the first stage when you want to make composite of a function. You align the functions in the same way that they are arranged. So the first letter of the function was h, which means h of x. How is it defined by? It is defined by 2x plus 3, which is here. How about f? F is defined by x minus 4, which is x minus 4 here. And having done that, we're going to find that when you are trying to combine two functions, you replace the last expression of function, which is in the brackets here, on that is the position of x in the first function. Which means if we say h, that is f of x, it means 2. The value of x in the first expression will always be what is in the brackets. So you introduce that is the bracket with what it contains. Then you say plus, that is a 3. So that is what's meant to be done. I'm trying to say when you're combining two functions, you firstly realign them in the way that they are arranged. Afterwards, when I say h is 2x plus 3, f is x minus 4. Mind you, I cannot just align them without bracketing one. That is to show that they are written separately. So this one, which is an expression that represents the last function, should be replaced in the first function, but on the position where x was. And when you reach at that stage, you're going to say h f of x equals to, you multiply 2 times x, this is 2x minus 2 times 4, this is 8, and then plus 3. So I'm going to say h f of x equals to, so I'm going to say this is 2x, but this is not 8 plus 3, so you can easily get 11. But this is negative 8 plus 3, which means when signs are different, it is always automatic subtraction, and then you pick the sign from the bigger number. So which means this is 8 minus 3, which is going to give us a 5, and 8 is having negative here, so which means this is our answer. hf of x equals to 2x minus 5 from out there. I hope you find this very video very much beneficial and at least making you advantageous and academically prepared, that is for the oncoming final exam. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel, leave a comment, and also share the video so that even other exam devotees in an exam class, particularly for this year, may find the same video very much beneficial. And also don't forget to follow our Facebook page, Sensor Academy School of Tuitions, and at least be able to find some of the same videos we'll be posting, at least to help you prepare adequately for an exam. This has been your tutor, Mr. Sensor, and for now, till in the next video, it's a very goodbye.